Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about line plots. Now with line plots, all you're doing is you're getting information from the line plot. Now for this problem, I know you've seen it before, we've done it in class. It's talking about trail lengths. Okay, so all of these X's stand for one trail. So this park has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 different trails. Now, some of the trails have multiples that are the same length. You have 2 that are 3/4 miles long. You have 3 that is 1 3/8 miles long. And then you have some that just have 1 that are those lengths in miles. So whenever you are looking at line plots, they're going to ask you questions about the line plots. Now, if they're asking about which one has the most common length, they're asking about which one has the most X's on it. So for this problem, it would be 1 3/8 miles because there's 3 trails that are 1 3/8 miles long. None of the others have 3. Some of them have 2, and then the others have 1. Now, this question that we're looking at here, it says, what is the difference between the longest trail and the shortest trail? Now, we need to cube this problem up so we see our keywords. So here I've cubed up our problem. And so I have boxed difference, longest, and shortest. Now, difference tells us that we have to do something with the longest trail and the shortest trail. And in math, difference means subtraction. So we need to subtract. Now, when it's telling you that there is a difference needing to be found between the longest trail and the shortest trail, you're looking for the farthest that you can go to the right that has an X. So for us, the longest trail is here. And then for the shortest, you want to go as far to the left as possible that still has X's. And for us, that's here. Now, since it said that we have to subtract, we have to take the longest section, 1 7/8, and subtract it from the shortest trail, which is 3/4. Now, we know we cannot subtract 8ths and 4ths. So we have an equivalent fraction that is needed for 3/4. So to go into 8ths, how do you get from 4 to 8? You need to multiply by 2. So what you do to the denominator, you must do to the numerator. So 4 times 2 is 8. 3 times 2 is 6. So we'll be subtracting 6/8 from 1 7/8. And when you do that, your answer is 1 1/8. Because remember, you must subtract your fractions first and then your whole numbers. Okay, so the difference is 1 1/8 miles between the longest trail and the shortest trail. Now we're going to look at another problem. It says the veterinarian in an animal shelter weighs the puppies every day. One day she recorded the weights in a line plot. So here are all of your puppies' weights from 1 to 3 pounds. Now, obviously, not every puppy was at all of these weights. So just because we don't have 1 5/8 doesn't mean that we don't still put that there because it is a number line. Okay, so everything must still be in order and it must go in order. So you cannot skip 1 5/8 and go to 1 7/8, which is also 1 3/4. So here they're asking different questions. It says, use the line plot to tell whether each one is true or false. So for A, it says the difference between the two heaviest puppies is 1/8 of a pound. So we have to find out if that's true or false. So it says the two heaviest puppies. So you're looking for the farthest to the right that you can go for the absolute heaviest puppy. And so the absolute heaviest puppy is 2 1/4 pounds. Now the second heaviest puppy, you would have to go this way until you reach an X, and that's 2 pounds. So if you subtract, 1/4 minus nothing is 1/4, and then 2 minus 2 is 0. So the difference is 1/4 of a pound. So obviously A is incorrect. So B says the combined weight of the two lightest puppies is 2 2/8 pounds. So this is exactly the opposite. You have to go farthest to the left where there are X's, and you want to find the two puppies that are the lightest. This puppy is the lightest. This is the next lightest. It's just a little heavier. Now remember, we have 8ths and 4ths. 1/4 is also 2/8 as an equivalent fraction. So the combined weight. Combined weight means that we need to do what? Add, subtract, multiply, or divide. We need to add. Okay, we're going to add. So we're going to add 1 1/8 and 1 2/8. Now, for adding, it doesn't matter if we do our whole numbers first or our fractions. So I'm going to go ahead and say 1 plus 1 is 2. 1/8 plus 1/8, or 1/8 plus 2/8, sorry, is 3/8. So is the combined weight 2 2/8 pounds? No, it's off by 1/8 of a pound. So that is also false. Now, we're looking at C. It says the difference between the heaviest puppy and the lightest puppy is 1 1/8 pounds. I want you guys to try this one. So go ahead and do that, pause the video, and then come back when you're ready. So here I have the answer for C in green. I went ahead and cubed up my problem. Difference means that we are subtracting. So I'm subtracting the heaviest puppy from the lightest puppy. The heaviest puppy is 2 1/4 pounds. The lightest puppy is 1 1/8 pounds. Now, again, I cannot subtract 4ths and 8ths, so I changed 1/4 into 8ths, and there's 2/8 in 1/4. When I subtracted, I got 1 1/8. Now, this is the same line plot. Now, this is another problem. It says there are 3 puppies that have the same weight. What is the combined weight of those puppies? Okay, so remember, combined means that we're taking and putting things together, so we're going to be adding. And there are 3 puppies that have the same weight. So you're looking for the number that has 3 X's. Okay, so you're going to be doing 1 3/4 plus 1 3/4 plus 1 3/4. You'll be doing that 3 times. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do that. You guys go ahead and do that as well. Pause it and then come on back. All right, so whenever I add all these guys up, I have 3 9/4. Now we know we can't leave 9/4 like that, because remember, no one talks like that. No one says 9/4 pounds. So in order to turn this into a mixed number, we need to do 9 divided by 4, because that's what this is saying. 9 divided by 4. I can do that 2 times, because 2 times 4 is 8. I subtract, I have 1 left over. Now my denominator is 4, because all my denominators are 4. And then my remainder is my numerator. So I have 2 and 1/4. So I need to take this out and do 3 plus 2 and 1/4 because that's what this is. Okay, so we're still using it. So that equals 5 and 1/4 pounds. And remember, LBS is pounds. Okay. Now I have 2 for you guys to do on your own that you guys are going to put on a piece of paper. This is so you can practice and then bring it in. I will tell you the answer to this one. And then the next one you're going to do on your own and you're going to bring it in for me. Okay? So go ahead and read this, solve it, and then I'll tell you the answer. So pause and come back when you're done. So the answer here is C, because we're looking at the difference between the shortest and the tallest student. Okay? So when you subtract, remember you have to change 1/2 into eighths. So it's 3 4/8. You subtract everything and you get 1 3/8 feet because this is in feet. Okay? Here's your next one that you're going to do on your own. So go ahead, read and solve, and then please bring this back in so that I can take a look at it. This is also going to be a great review for your quiz on Monday. Okay, we didn't get a chance to do it today. We will be doing it first thing on Monday when you come in. Okay, so take your time, study, go over it. If you have any questions, you can post those. If not, you can write them down and I will answer them on Monday. Thank you guys. Have a good one.